Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are located. Thank you all so much for joining Railbookers for today's exciting presentation. Folks, any questions that you may have during today's presentation, please feel free to type those away in your question box located on the right-hand side of your screen. And please be sure to check that your device speakers are unmuted so you will be able to hear us. First and foremost, let me just take a minute to introduce myself. My name is Jim Marini, and I will proudly be your host here today. Today's presentation is scheduled to be about 30 to 45 minutes, give or take, with questions, which I will save time for at the end of today's presentation. And today, folks, we are talking about cruise extensions for as early as the fall of this year and throughout 2022. Do you have a fantastic river cruise planned? Do you have an ocean cruise planned, or you're looking to plan a river or ocean cruise? Well, why not extend those fantastic cruises beyond the port cities? And that's what we're here to talk about today. So excited to have you here, folks. So without further ado, let's get started. And for those of you who may not be as familiar with Railbookers, if you look at the brochure on the right-hand side, this is all of our worldwide independent rail vacations, rail holidays, packages throughout Canada, throughout Europe, and around the world by rail. And you know what we also offer by rail? Alaska. Has any of you been affected from the recent ban from the Canadian government on Alaska cruises? If you have, why not consider Alaska by rail in place of sail? Well, certainly you can do that and travel as early as June, July, August, and September of this year if you choose, or extend that Alaska cruise next year and start earlier or end later. Now, if you look at the brochure on the left-hand side, yes, our sister brand, Amtrak Vacations, is the official tour operator here in the United States for Amtrak. And they do way more than just rail. So rail plus hotels, meals, sightseeing tours, activities. They have packages put together from 3, 4, 5-day weekend, week-long getaways to 1 and 2 weeks long cross-country trips, trips out to the beautiful national parks. Do any of you just want to get out of your houses and go somewhere? Well, guess what, folks? You could travel as early as today. Yes, today with Amtrak Vacations up to 2023, and that includes Railbookers, including some of these fantastic cruise extensions. So you got lots of flexibility between both of our brands. Now, why is that? Well, folks, we have direct rail partnerships with not only the local trains throughout the United States, Canada, Europe, and beyond, but also some of those high-speed trains, some of those luxury trains. Maybe some of you want to experience traveling on some of those upscale 5-star, 5-diamond luxury trains. It's all available through Railbookers. And by the way, I will mention our phone number is listed down at the bottom of every slide. We are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can give us a call, or even better, contact your local travel advisor to plan any of these trips. Now, just a quick heads up for you folks, for anyone that does book before the end of June, we are offering our maximum flexibility offer, which basically allows any of you to change or postpone your trips for any reason whatsoever. Now, there's so many reasons why travelers love traveling with Railbookers. If you look in the top left-hand corner, rail expert knowledge. When you speak to any of our live rail experts, it is on the phone. They can plan the perfect trip for you, your friends, and family right there and then, as well as your local travel advisor. Yeah, as I mentioned, you can book from today and travel today to 2023. We have our maximum flexibility offer, again, going until the end of June, just giving you that full range of flexibility if you did need to change or postpone your trip. We have the largest rail vacation selection in the world independently, all right? And any trip can be customized because no rail trip is too complicated for us. Now, we have staff located all over the world. I happen to be based out of the Boston area, right near Beverly, Massachusetts, as you can see on the left-hand side, but we have offices and staff down under, yes, in Sydney, Australia, across the pond in London, over the border in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, as well as in beautiful Southern California. So 24-hour support from our global offices. Now, before I get into some of these exciting cruise extension packages available for each and every one of you, if you take a look at this map, everyone, this is the rail network map across Europe. And if you look at all those different colorful lines, folks, those represent all the different trains throughout Europe. And here's what I always say. None of those trains actually talk to each other. Many of them obviously are in different countries. They have different currencies, different policies. When you book through Railbookers, we bring it all together and we do way more than just rail tickets. And you're going to see and learn more about that today. Now, any of you certainly looking to travel this year in the fall or certainly throughout 2022, how are rail operators maintaining a safe environment? Well, just like here in the continental United States with Amtrak Vacations, facial coverings would be required on board the trains, at the train stations for passengers and staff. On some of the trains, they have stopped the sale of food and drink on board the trains. But I will tell you firsthand, as I've traveled on many different trains throughout Europe, right at the train stations, there's always restaurants, little cafes, bakeries, and nearby, right in the city center. Okay, changing seat configuration and allocation on board just to allow more room in between passengers. They will have an increased cleaning and sanitation protocol at all the different train stations, and everything is contactless ticket control right through email or on your iPhone, your mobile phone, or on apps, making it nice and easy for each and every one of you to travel. All right, let's move into some of our cruise extensions available for any of you, again, maybe traveling on some of those fantastic river cruises or some of those great ocean liner cruises. Well, here's a package certainly for any of you that may be going on a Rhine river cruise that either starts or ends in Basel. Folks, if you're going to be in that area, why not have a chance to see all that Switzerland has to offer? Folks, I've been in the industry over 25 years, and Switzerland is just one of those countries that, knock on wood, I've never heard not one person not love, not one. And I've been in the industry over 25 years. You know, if you asked me, and I'm based in the Boston area, if I had a chance to spend a little extra time before or after my Rhine River cruise in Switzerland, you better believe I would hop on that morning, noon, and night. So this is the best opportunity for any of you as well if you're interested to extend your Rhine River cruise. If you look at the map on the right-hand side, folks, all those dotted lines, those represent all the different train routes. If you look at the number 1, the number 2, the number 3 in a round blue circle, that just tells you how many nights that you're spending in each of these cities and locations. Now, as I mentioned earlier, any of these trips can be customized. So if you want 3 nights or 4 nights in Zermatt instead of 2, we can do that. If you want 2 nights in Lucerne instead of 3, we can do that as well. We can either add days or take out days, so we find the right trip at the right price for each and every one of you. Switzerland is just one of those countries, again, just absolutely breathtaking. And this is our scenic Switzerland from Basel. Now, this particular package does happen to visit some of these fantastic areas. St. Maritz, I call this the home of the rich and famous, the Beverly Hills of Switzerland. Yes, this is included in this package, but you know what's also included, which kind of gives certainly great meaning to the name Railbookers? One of the first iconic trains in Switzerland that's featured, and this is the Bernina Express. Look at this, folks. Now, the way I describe traveling on this train, and stay with me, it's almost like you're traveling on a roller coaster, but it goes 10 times slower, of course, right? But the reason why I say that, lots of hairpin turns. Many times the folks in the front of the train can see all the folks in the back of the trains as you're traveling throughout some of these great turns throughout the different valleys and mountains within Switzerland. You know, this entire train route is about 4 to 5 hours long, and the entire train route on the Bernina Express is considered a World UNESCO Heritage Site, okay? The entire train route. Absolutely amazing. Now, they do have service on board from the attendants as well. So again, if that's an opportunity for any of you, or you'd like something to drink or a bite to eat, you certainly have that available. Now, one of the most iconic trains that's featured not only on this package, but really any of our packages in Switzerland, is the Glacier Express, otherwise known as Glacier Express. Now, this is about a 7.5 to 8 hour train journey, and this will take you right throughout Switzerland, literally from one side of the country to the other. Little fun trivia for all of you. Do you know this train is known as the slowest high-speed train in all of Europe? Now, why do they call it the slowest high-speed train? It only goes about 30 to 40 miles per hour. Now, the beautiful part is not only can we book all different types of trains, whether it's in Switzerland or around the world, but we can also book different categories of service on board the train. So on Glacier Express, otherwise known as Glacier Express, they have standard class, they have first class, and guess what? They have excellence class. That's what you're looking at right here. Let me ask all of you the question. If it fits within your price point or your budget, what category of service would you prefer to sit in? Well, I know what I would choose, and that's excellence class. Do you know there's only about 20 seats on board excellence class? It includes a 5-course meal. Wine is included throughout your journey. They have chocolate, brioche, French toast, you name it. You also have a great selection of cuisine in the evening. Absolutely amazing. All right. And you'll have that opportunity with white glove service from the attendants on board the train. And not to mention, great opportunity to also meet some of your fellow travelers as well. So consider upgrading to excellence class, because again, the experience just makes it that much more enjoyable as you travel through Switzerland. Now, one of my personal favorite areas in all of Switzerland, you are looking at it. This is Zermatt. And a little fun trivia for all of you, and many of you may know this already, Zermatt, similar to Venice, is not accessible. They by road. They don't have cars. They don't have trucks. You don't hear motorcycles. It has a very tranquil atmosphere. It's a very walkable area. They do have bicycles and bikes that folks can rent if they choose to ride around this great area. But little fun trivia for all of you. And in fact, on the right-hand side of your screen, folks, as I mentioned at the beginning, is your question box. So here's my first little fun question for all of you. You see that iconic snow-capped mountain in the background? Does anyone want to take a guess? What is the name of that iconic snow-capped mountain in the distance? Can everyone see that? If you know what it is, folks, type away. Let's have a little fun. What is the name of that snow-capped mountain off in the distance, which Zermatt gives you some of the most beautiful views of? Ah, there we go. I knew I'd get some greater answers. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, John, Donald. Thank you, Steve. Actually, everyone's correct so far. What is the name? It is called the Matterhorn. Yes, the Matterhorn, folks, one of the iconic mountains in all of Switzerland. Now, you're treated for a great experience on the cable car and the train car known as the Gönnergrat. And this right here will bring you right up close and personal to the Matterhorn, so keep that in mind. We also include Montreux, another iconic destination within Switzerland. And one thing to keep in mind about Switzerland, for those of you that have been there, or if you haven't, if it's on your bucket list, your wish list, you know, in Switzerland, there's multiple languages spoken in one country. If you're in the part of Switzerland closer to Italy, well, it's Italian. If you're in the part of Switzerland closer to France, well, it's French. If you're in the part of Switzerland closer to Germany, it's German. Multiple languages spoken in this fantastic country of Switzerland. Now, one of my personal favorite areas also is Lucerne. And here you have the beautiful wooden covered bridge along Lake Lucerne. Absolutely breathtaking. Look at this, folks. Mount Pilatus Railway. How cool is that, right? So much to see and do. And we are treated for a cable car ride on the way coming back down, giving again some of the most beautiful views of this amazing country. We also include the Frau Railway, another iconic site. Again, folks, Switzerland not only is beautiful with its majestic snow-capped mountains, but also all the great train experiences as well. Now, on the Frau Railway, it does bring you up to the top where they have an observation area that has a restaurant up at top. You have to definitely try the fondue, of course, right, when in Switzerland. and you'll have that opportunity. Now, we do offer some great options on all of our trips, such as some of you may want to add the Eiger Express. This is an additional sightseeing cable car journey that takes you throughout some of the beautiful snow-capped mountains within Switzerland. But as I mentioned, we do way more than just rail. We do hotels, 3, 4, 5-star, 3, 4, 5 diamond hotels, sightseeing tours, meals, activities. Pretty much we can book almost everything for you with the exception of flights. But folks, another great reason why it's always even better to contact your local travel advisor who can book any of these packages, including your flights. And before you know it, folks, you arrive in Zurich. Such a great, fantastic city where this tour concludes. So keep that package in mind. Now, the nice thing with cruise extensions, folks, is we have many different variations. So if you want to spend 2 weeks, such as the previous package I just showed all of you, or you're looking for a great little getaway extension from your Rhine River cruise, well, then you may want to consider our St. Maritz and the Bernina Express to Basel. So this is a great journey where it ends in Basel, where then you could begin your Rhine River cruise, or it can go in reverse. Any of these trips can either start or end in Basel. Now, by the way, this particular bridge that you're looking at, this is known as the Landweser Viaduct, over 200 feet high in the air, and both the Bernina Express and the Glacier Express cross over this bridge itself. In fact, on Glacier Express, your opportunity is traveling through multiple tunnels and almost 200 bridges that you cross over just on that particular train. Now, this is a great treat because this also includes Milan, Italy. Yes, in Milan, absolutely amazing city. It also has an opportunity if you choose to extend your stay in Bellagio, right? Famous, made famous from the Bellagio in Las Vegas. Well, here is the authentic, the real city and town of Bellagio. Now, this also, again, does include the Bernina Express. And again, just such a great experience that you'll have during your journey. And again, attendants are on board to help with any requests, any questions, and certainly if anyone wants any snacks or drinks as well. As you saw in the previous package, this also does include St. Moritz and, of course, Basel, right? So again, that's the beauty. And one thing to keep in mind that I think is so important to know is as you are planning, or maybe you already have your river cruise of a lifetime plan or your ocean cruise planned, so many of these fantastic cruise lines out there, their focus is about the cruise, the onboard amenities, the different port cities you're visiting while you're on the cruise. Our focus is all about where we can take you beyond the cruise, where you're not confined just to the port cities. You see, sometimes some of the cruise lines may offer an option to extend your trip before or after, but almost all the time, they're only in that one city, which in this case would only be in Basel. What we do is we bring you beyond the port cities, where we can take you on multiple trains, stay in multiple hotels from 3, 4, 5-star, include multiple sightseeing tours, visit multiple countries. We can customize any trip just the way you would like. And that's something so exciting to keep in mind. Now, it's not only Switzerland, okay? How about packages that focus just on Italy? Well, again, we have so many different packages to choose from. By the way, folks, we have almost 60 different cruise extensions that you can choose from. And all of the packages start or end in all the major port cities that all those fantastic river cruises and ocean cruises either start or end in. And as I mentioned, we take you and your friends and family way beyond those port cities. Now, here's a great one known as Venice and Rome from Civitavecchia. Civitavecchia. How's that, folks, right? My dad is from Italy, speaks fluent Italian, and yes, I understand a little bit of it. Now, Venice, As I mentioned, again, kind of the similarity to Zermatt, there are no cars, there's no trucks, there's no motorcycles, right? And of course, you have the Grand Canal, right? Absolutely breathtaking. This is definitely one of the most iconic areas I've ever seen in my entire 25 years. I mean, think of driving around the United States or Canada, wherever you are located, and except instead of driving, you're on gondolas, you're on boats, right? There are no streets, there are no cars. Absolutely amazing. But folks, we also include some of these iconic meals as well. You see, all of our trips are independent style vacations, flexible independent travel. So what does that mean? This is a good opportunity to explain what that means. You see, unlike a traditional guided bus tour, an escorted tour out there, our trips, what we do is on certain days, we may have a full day guided tour with a local tour guide, or we may have a half a day tour. But guess what, folks? Then you have dinner at leisure on your own, maybe at a local restaurant, or you get to choose from some of the local restaurants. Or you may want to go sightseeing or go on a gondola ride on your own. It's really the best of both. You have that flexibility. Now, we do include a glass demonstration where you have a chance to see this live in person at the islands of Murano and Burano. All right, glass making demonstration, absolutely amazing. Now, of course, Rome, so much history here, starting with St. Peter's Basilica, right? Absolutely amazing. So you'll have the opportunity to do some great sightseeing in Rome. And this is a good example when it would be with a local tour guide, and he or she will be with you for the day as you visit St. Peter's Basilica, the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican Museum, the Colosseum. I could go on, but this is a full day guided tour with a local tour guide. Let's not forget about the Trevi Fountain. And by the way, they say if you flip a coin over your shoulder, it guarantees a return trip back to Italy. So make sure, for any of you that have Italy on your wish list, to be sure to do that. And as I mentioned, the Colosseum. You know, it's pretty amazing to think back in the early years when they actually had gladiators fighting one another to the point of whoever lived was the winner. Imagine that, to actually see that. That's it's amazing that that was actually a form of entertainment. Obviously, it would not be today, but back in the early years it was, and you'll learn a lot about the history of some of those first gladiator battles. Absolutely amazing. So keep that package in mind. Now, as I mentioned, folks, we get almost 60 different packages. You can view some of these packages right on our website, folks, and that's listed right at the bottom, railbookers.com. But I will tell you, the best way, the fastest way, the easiest way, pick up that phone, speak to one of our rail experts, or even better, contact your local travel advisor who can book any of these packages, including your flights. Now, here's a package, folks, called Munich and Prague to Budapest. And as you can see, all the dotted lines again represent the trains. All right, the number 2 in a round circle just tells you how many nights that you're in each of these cities. And in this case, what's great is your journey begins in Munich. So you could fly into Munich, you spend 2 nights, you'll have some sightseeing included. Then from there, you travel north up into Prague, known as Praha, okay? And then from Prague down into Budapest, where then you could begin your river cruise if you choose. So this trip, just like any of them, can either start or end in Budapest. Let me walk you through this package itself. Now, obviously, in Munich, in Germany. Absolutely amazing. I love some of the beautiful, colorful style homes nestled right along the rivers of this particular area. Let's not forget about the Neuschwanstein Castle, right? One of the most iconic castles in the world, let alone in Germany itself. And then it's off to Prague. Now, as I mentioned, this is known as Praha. The G is actually silent for locals. And what's interesting in Prague, I remember when I went here years ago, I got to tell you, folks, for any of you that have never been to Prague, it absolutely blew me away. I was so impressed at the beauty of Prague because it's an area that many people still haven't had an opportunity to see as of yet. Now, it's divided into the old city and the new city, and it's divided by the bridge, as you can see there, right in the middle of the screen. And what's interesting is if you look close at the bridge in the middle of this picture, you'll see some large iconic statues. This is one of my favorite sites and locations in Prague, is actually walking on that bridge where you see these huge monuments and statues. They have different vendors selling artwork and different trinkets and souvenirs. Absolutely amazing. But the bridge pretty much connects the old portion of the city to the new portion. And then, as I mentioned, then you arrive in Budapest, where then again you could begin your river cruise. So again, if you're planning to travel on some of those fantastic river cruises, whether it's with Viking, whether it's with ABBA Waterways, Uniworld, so many more, right? There's some great, great cruise lines out there. Why not extend your cruise and see way more than just what's offered in the port city? Folks, one of the last packages I want to highlight before I share my exciting news with all of you in just a little bit is our Prague and Munich from Nuremberg. How cool is that, right? Beginning right there in Nuremberg within central southern Germany. And this package does include this. Now, Nuremberg, just a great, great village. And one of the nice things that I love mentioning, not only about Nuremberg, but a lot of the great cities and destinations throughout Germany and certainly Austria, Bavaria, Switzerland, is experiencing the local cuisine, right? If you're like me, folks, wherever I travel, whether it's here in the United States, Canada, or Europe, I want to experience that local cuisine. I want that bratwursts. I want that Wiener Schnitzel, right? I want that Glühwein. Now, for those of you who may not be as familiar with Glühwein, very popular within Germany itself, as well as Austria and some of the surrounding countries. It's heated wine. So just like here in the United States or Canada, where hot chocolate or cocoa would be popular in the evening on a cold night, right? In this area, the Bavarian Alps, Germany, and surrounding countries, that is very popular as well. And let's not forget about some of their delicious desserts. All right, their pretzels, by the way, some of the largest handmade pretzels, literally nice and warm and crispy, are available. And the nice part is, folks, you can go pretty much year round to many of these destinations. So if you're looking to travel as more of a winter wonderland, where you have the Christmas markets in the evening, where you can go shopping, do a little sightseeing, you have that. Or if you want to travel in the spring, summer, and fall, where the weather's a little warmer, you can certainly do that. And here's a great little delicacy: Karlovy Vary. Karlovy Vary. Look at some of these great buildings and different sites, and very walkable area as well. And again, Munich, right? Always popular. By the way, if any of you do enjoy a good beer, if you like to drink some good beer, certainly Germany is the place to have many, many different variations of some of the most delicious beer you'll ever have. Now, I know I mentioned this throughout today's presentation, but just to explain what customizing any trip means, folks, if you look in the top left-hand corner, you can add on any destination. So if you're doing a trip and you want to add an additional site, maybe you have family or friends in an area, or maybe there's an extra city that you want to visit while you're in Switzerland or Germany or Italy, you can easily do that. You could take a round trip journey if you choose, to and from the same city. You can book a trip in reverse, as I mentioned. So depending on where you are starting or ending on your river cruise or your ocean cruise, you can book any trip in reverse. You can upgrade to first class, or even better, excellence class on Glacier Express, otherwise known as Glacier Express. You can add any sightseeing tour or upgrade to private tours. That's the beauty when it comes to customizing any trips, because again, all our trips are independent, FIT, flexible independent travel. And that also includes 3, 4, or 5-star hotels on the same trip. So here's a question I have for all of you. Do any of you have a special occasion coming up? Maybe a special birthday, a special anniversary. Maybe you're retiring and you want to celebrate and go big, right? Especially if you haven't traveled in the last year, year and a half. Why not be able to upgrade your hotel, maybe on that special day. And if you look in yellow, folks, you can literally stay at a 3, 4, and 5-star hotel in the same trip. So the first city you travel in, you could be at a 3-star hotel. The second city on the same trip, you could be at a 4-star. And guess what? On the same trip, the third city, you could be at a 5-star, 5-diamond hotel. Why? Maybe on that day, it is your anniversary. It is your birthday, and it can all be done in the same trip, which is great. Again, our goal, as well as your local travel advisor, is to always find the right trip at the right price for each and every one of you. Folks, before I share the exciting news for all of you, as far as a great promotion we have going on right here, right now, I do have one other fun question for all of you. If you'd be so kind, on the right-hand side of your screen, folks, just type in for me, what destinations are you considering for your next vacation? All right, so I'm going to give everyone a minute or so. If you'd be so kind, just type in for me into the question box on the right-hand side of your screen, folks. What destinations are you considering for your next rail vacation? All right, here we go. See, I knew this was going to be a great audience. Thank you, folks. All right, I see Dennis, Switzerland all the way. Looking at Switzerland in September of 2022. Mary Jane, my family and I want to do an Italy and Switzerland trip in May of 2022. Fantastic. Richard, hello, Richard. Swiss, yes, absolutely. +9, yes. So nice, nice trip, absolutely. Trinell, Switzerland. You could certainly see, folks. Again, I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. I'm so grateful and fortunate to say I've been in the industry, as I mentioned, over 25 years, and really, if Switzerland is on your bucket list or your wish list, or it's just a place you've thought about, and maybe again you're doing a river cruise or planning to do a river cruise that either starts or ends in Basel, why not see more Switzerland? If you're going to be all the way there in Europe, why not? All right, you ready for the exciting news, folks? Now, by the way, if you have a pen, a paper, an iPhone, a mobile device, this is probably a good slide to take a picture of, because right now, folks, through May 21st, so anytime from today, May 11th, all the way until May 24th, I should say, until Monday, May 24th, any of you that book with a small deposit, all right, through giving us a call, or even better, through your local travel advisor, if you book any of these trips and they are between 3 to 6 nights, you will earn $300 per couple. If they are between 7 to 9 nights, you will earn $400 per couple. And if they are 10 or more nights, you will earn $500 per couple to upgrade your rail vacation how you choose. Here's some examples. If you look on the left-hand side of your screen, folks, from left to right, you can upgrade your train ticket. So instead of being in first class on Glacier Express, guess what? Now you're in excellence class. You could upgrade your hotel. So as an example, on Lake Lucerne, we offer the Hotel Schweizerhof, located right there on the lake. It is a 5-star, 5-diamond hotel. You could upgrade the room in that same hotel. So instead of being in a standard double room, you could be in a junior suite. You could extend your stay, maybe adding an extra day or two, either before or after your trip, or adding any additional activities. The point is, you will earn $300, $400 to $500 per couple to use how you want to use, where you want to use, when you want to use, when you upgrade your rail vacation. All right. And all you need to do is just book with that small deposit of only $250 per person. Okay. Anytime from today before Monday, May 24th, and you'll get to pick and choose how you want to use those additional benefits. By the way, if any of you are single or solo travelers, instead of earning $300, $400 to $500 per couple, you would earn $150, $200 or $250 for yourselves being a single. Basically, it's half of those prices, but you will still earn those rates being a single or solo traveler. All right, folks. So with that in mind, as I promised, today's presentation would be about 30 to 45 minutes. So I have a few minutes left for any questions that any of you may have. And I do see a couple questions that have come in, which is great. But I did want to mention again, just as a reminder, folks, we are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is the phone number on the left-hand side. By the way, our rail vacation experts are waiting to help each and every one of you. You can visit us online, or even better, you can contact your local travel advisor, which is great. All right. So anyway, with that in mind, oh, thank you so much, Richard, for your kind words. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Fantastic. All right. I have Debbie. So Debbie's saying, my family and I have a family of 5, would like to travel to Switzerland after our Rhine River cruise. Can we also include Italy? Here's the best part, folks. There's millions and millions of folks that travel. In fact, actually, I should say there's billions of travelers with a B throughout the trains in all of Europe. And wherever the trains go, wherever there's a train station, we can take you there. And again, we can do way more than just trains. We could do hotels, meals, sites, activities. We have packages all put together. So yes, to answer your question, we absolutely can help you to go from Switzerland into Italy, where then you could be able to see more of both countries as well. All right. So anyway, wanted to mention that as well. Hello, Pat. How are you? Can we get a copy of the map that you showed? Absolutely, Pat. Best way is just pick up the phone, give us a call. You can certainly speak to any of our rail experts who can email you a copy. You can also go on our website to Pat, that may also have some different variations of the map that you may also prefer to use. Whatever's easier for you as well, okay? Denise just asked, again, deposits. So deposits on an average, folks, are $250 per person. Now, if it is one of our luxury trains, okay, such as the Venice Simplon Orient Express, the Belmont Royal Scotsman, the Maharaj Express, the Blue Train, the Trans-Siberian, the Golden Eagle, some of those deposits may be much larger because it's a luxury train line. So again, it just depends if it's any of our luxury trains in the world. Okay, so any of our rail experts or your local travel advisor can certainly help you with that. Let's see. Okay. Oh, hey, Pat, I've got another quick question. Can you help me with the trip from Budapest to Croatia? Pat, we would love to help you on a trip from Budapest to Croatia. And the answer is yes, absolutely. We absolutely can do that. So feel free. Our rail experts, folks, I got to tell you, are absolutely fantastic because they're not only familiar with the countries and the destinations, but they're also familiar with all the different train routes. For instance, are your clients looking for the shortest and quickest route, or do they want more of the scenic route? You know, there's many different variations. Many times there's different ways to even get from point A to point B with multiple trains that can range from 3, 4 to even 5-star, 5-diamond trains. So Pat, we go to Budapest and Croatia. We would absolutely love to help you any way we can. So again, give us a call or contact your local travel advisor as well. So all right, folks. Well, with that in mind, more than anything, I hope you enjoyed today's presentation on the exciting cruise extensions that you, your friends, and family can take advantage of, not only for as early as the fall of this year, but certainly anytime in 2022. So again, if you have a special anniversary, birthday, occasion coming up, maybe you've saved extra funds from not traveling in the last year and a half and you want to go big and you want to make up for it and celebrate whatever the occasion may be, even if it's just to check off the list that you travel to some of these iconic areas of the world. If it's on your bucket list, your wish list, whatever it is, folks, we can help you with any of these arrangements. So on behalf of Railbookers, thank you all so much for joining us here today. And don't even think twice, pick up that phone, give us a call or contact your local travel advisor. And we look forward to having you, your friends and family on board soon. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.